The public is invited to walk the plank this Saturday. The Daughters of the American Revolution is hosting a walking tour in the historic WABASH neighborhood. The name comes from the plank road technology of the 1840s, used mostly by turnpike companies in the Midwest.
The Daughters of the American Revolution have been asked to dig up the history of this historic neighborhood. The city's been working on plans to redevelop this neighborhood to be an extension of downtown. And part of revitalization is to bring out the history.
The tour will begin Saturday at the Pocket Park on the corner of Wabash Avenue and ELLSWORTH Street.
Each visitor will receive a free walking tour guide called Walk the Plank, and I believe there are 14 planks, so it'll have an address on here, tell which character, so they can drive through the neighborhood and just jump out, ride their bikes, walk.
The tour will feature colorful tales of the people who lived and worked in the neighborhood, and there may be some familiar faces along the route.
Abraham Lincoln will be here, and an impersonator, obviously, but Abraham Lincoln gave a famous speech from this area in 1861 from the back of a train at the Junction House.
You'll also hear the story of Steve Hannigan, the Lafayette native known as the Prince of Press Agents.
He was dating a movie star, Ann Sheridan, at the time of his untimely death. And so we have someone who's going to impersonate Ann Sheridan and tell the story of Mr. Hannigan from her perspective.
Vice says the Walk the Plank tour hopes to present a history of an often ignored part of the city.
It all began here. And this Irish neighborhood has been kind of overlooked over the years, over the centuries, and if you haven't been here in the last 10 years, you won't recognize the place.
Vice says the goal is to help people learn more about the bits of history that fall through the cracks.
I don't think most people who live in this city have a clue about some of the rich history. So this is just walk number one. We're already making plans for walk number two next year.
Reservations aren't required, but due to pandemic restrictions, space may be limited. Any questions should be directed to the DAR at generaldelafayette@gmail.com. For Star City News, I'm Dave North, reporting in Lafayette.